Quicksilver and Galan, aka Galactus's animations and a little bit of their special attacks are released. I'm kind of shocked because I've watched this several times and it's very exciting. Go and check out the link in the description, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing this through once and then I'm going to be reacting and breaking it down because this looks... It's so amazing. Honestly, Kabam's animation department has just smashed it. So we kick off everything with Galan. So you kind of find him as the kind of Galactus-y type thing, and there's a world there, what seems to be a world. It's not. It's actually his staff. His staff of many things. Psycho Man comes in and is like, okay, he's getting beaten up by Quicksilver. And it's like, okay, so the story is and seems to be they're working together, which is kind of weird because he's kind of like, he's a herald of Galactus. Very strange, but yes, he's like, yes, boss, so I'm going to go and do something now. So first of all, you see like Galan and kind of like Galactus, and it's just like, wow. Second thing is like this kind of beam attack, this kind of pulsar energy burst. Again, wow. And then like third SP3 animation of breaking up worlds into tiny things and then going like super big and kind of playing into that Galactus thing. So I don't know, I'm kind of like, I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but it kind of gives away Kabam an excuse to kind of bring in Galactus essentially into this game, which I still find very weird. The Quicksilver one, I will break this down in a second, but like just look at the movements. Like I'm not kind of like speeding it up, like he's literally just like going like it's pretty impressive. It is. And this SP3 is again equally as impressive. He's got like a little Avengers on his phone. He's got like an Avengers phone. So that's a little kind of like nod right there. And there's a few Easter eggs with that SP3 as well. But story-wise, it looks to be like a really kind of like cool tie-in. That one's a herald and whatnot. And yeah, it just looks amazing. Right, we've got to go and break this down now. So that's that. Go and check out that in the link in the description down below if you want to go and check it out. And what we're going to be doing right now, as I bring my face back into the particular video, is that we're going to be breaking things down into little sections and kind of repeating stuff back. So, first right off the bat, I'm impressed. Okay? Kabam have done a great job with putting these champions together from an animation standpoint. Abilities are the second point, how they function is another thing, and the deep dives, which normally are out on like Sunday. So I might do some fresh content on Sunday. I haven't really decided yet on it. Break them down, as it is pretty exciting. So we've got a little vignette there, and like again, it's pretty cool. I only get to like the champion thing, I think, which is coming up. And here we go. So just from a basic standpoint, fine. SP1 wise, like it is pretty cool to kind of like summon what seems to be this. It's a weird dynamic with the staff of kind of like having that as kind of the primary weapon of Galactus, especially because a lot of us are kind of like we know the character from the past and what it does. Over on the bottom it says gains 4 fury buffs and convert resistant buffs into planetary mass with the harvest. That sounds pretty big with damage and lots of stuff. The great thing about it is I think the next 6-star features both these champions, which is what I'm going to be starting to save up for. So that's going to be a big opening in November, so look out for that. SP2 gain 8 intensify buffs and inflict up to 3 incinerate debuffs. That could be mega, especially with all those kind of like energy bursts. And then the SP3 is a bit of an odd one because it's what builds for the champion. I've got this personal hope that it's actually a persistent based champion that allows you to kind of not expand but kind of build in mass from fight to fight. Imagine if that was something. Immediately gain 200 planetary mass and refresh the harvest. So I don't know what that means at this outstage, but I'm sure we'll look over the abilities on Monday when the spotlights are released, and we'll be able to get an idea. Or in the deep dives on Sunday. That's going to be mega. It's going to be mega, especially because on the SP3 you kind of go so big. Do you kind of like get something like combos, same with combos building with Aegon? Again, it's another like not combo building but kind of mass building, the same way genetic code is built with stuff like Apocalypse or is it genetic code? I can't remember, the one that kind of Professor X get and you go fight to fight and build. So I don't know, love to see it. It's so good to see the animation with the kind of like the quick movement on the basic and what goes into the SP1. Hypersonic trampling, gain 150 momentum charges and increased attack with terminal velocity. This is... It's like, it is literally just go fast, go fast. But the basics, like, you literally just have to kind of like, where is it? Like, go into playback. I'm gonna have to do playback at like 0.25%, and just like have a look at the basics. Look at that. Like, it's just like, it's pummeling between there. Like, as soon as we finish that attack there, like, I'm on 0.25 like speed, and like I assume that's the basic attack there. But like the do. That's like faster than anything I've seen in MCOC. It's like bamfing with Nightcrawler. It's like you just don't see it. It's that kind of quick. Yeah, I had it down to playback at 0.25. That's the lowest on YouTube you can bring it down to the playback speed. So like, I maybe do like a video like how fast is Quicksilver, especially when you get like beatdown. Which what does beatdown do? It gives you inflicts a trauma debuff and double whiplash stacks with terminal velocity. So terminal velocity and whiplash stacks. Don't know if that's like a debuff of some kind. Gain 900 momentum charges and increase whiplash ability accuracy with terminal velocity. Seems like both these champions, Galan and Quicksilver, have this kind of like build up some sort of extra ability, whatever that is. I don't know. Like as I said, examples were, you know, genetic code, or what's it called? With Strife, like the way that Strife builds up his his charge, telepathy charge, like it builds up telepathy charges. Maybe these two champions are persistent. Either way, could be very exciting. I'm pretty much kind of like yeah, I'm sold on these at the moment just by animations and look. I know there have been some like jokes about the extent of the champion Quicksilver, like his look, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It does fit into like a most recent kind of what was it, a comic book arc. Also, if you've watched Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, and I think to a lesser degree X-Men Apocalypse, then the little references of kind of like him kind of doing other stuff is pretty cool. Like him playing like on an arcade machine, like, you know, it's just like that's what happened in Days of Future Past. I also like the little nod here, the little Easter egg of like the Avengers logo on the back of the phone, you know, to kind of like nod to Aaron Taylor Johnson, or, you know, Quicksilver, or Craven as it is, which is going to be interesting enough. But yeah, there's that kind of little kind of point there in the right direction. Again, Days of Future Past, trip over the chair and then do that. So there's, again, wow, and a cheesy grin at the end. Yeah, I kind of like I can't say anything bad about this. From an animation standpoint, it is just beautiful to see both these champions in action, and they look really, really amazing. So yeah, like, it's really impressive to see. The animation department at Kabam have just nailed it. Like, every time we do these type of videos, it's just seeing like them nailing it each and every time. Getting the little touches, the little details. Debatable about the Galactus kind of like thing, but if it's the planetary stuff eating there, the kind of like sucking in of planets, you know, that's great. And Quicksilver with the kind of like the quick movements on the basic hits and how that's going to play into when you play him, like, I don't know, but I'm excited for both these champions. I've got to review these champions. I don't normally do reviews of new champions because I'm just not into a lot of new champions coming into the game. But when it comes to like some really spicy champions that characters-wise players want to see in this game, and Quicksilver's been asked for a long time, this is where I think it gets really important and really interesting, and what they both can do to the contest. It's going to be really exciting, and hopefully they're really good as champions. That's the big thing. I'm not going to go overhyped on these because they could both come in and they both, you know, may not be able to be as powerful. They're going to have to, Kabam are going to have to play a very difficult, not a difficult, a very important game. Also, prestige is going to be a big factor. Is it going to be big arena cutoffs to get them? Undoubtedly, and that's going to be scary. And will they break records? Might do. But yeah, what's everyone's thoughts on this? Go and check out the link in the description down below to go and check out them a bit further. Check out some other content which is located on the screen. Updates are coming in at 10 AM PST, so make sure to come back to the channel for then, and we've got lots of info coming. Make sure to come back to the channel as we've got lots of stuff. Cheers everybody, have a good day, bye bye.